What's going on, guys? Welcome to VOS Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Funganye. I want to thank you for joining us today on the show. As always, right here on Red Carpet, we bring you the latest in entertainment news, in sports, in fashion, in film and television from around the world. Let's go. Now, as we are all adapting to working remotely, how are we staying stylish during online meetings and presentations? And what are we wearing when we are not on camera? VOA's Julie Tebo has some answers. Check it out.
So today I thought I would introduce you to 4 scarves that I have in the color green.
Textile designer Martina Sestakova has noticed a spike in sales of her colorful scarves since the outbreak of the coronavirus.
Recently, one of my clients purchased a scarf, and the customer said, I really need this in my life right now. I am an art teacher. I cannot be with the children in the classroom. They are now watching me on the screen. How do I make myself feel good? And how do I kind of, draw attention to myself? So she picked this bright pink scarf. And then the following day, she said, I got so many compliments and I have felt good. So it's working.
That's also working for her client, Mary Higgins.
Every Zoom meeting that I have, I'll put on earrings, I'll put on a scarf and a necklace, and it's something that makes me feel more professional.
Rank and Style is a website that features top 10 lists of the 10 best products in the fashion, beauty, and lifestyle categories. There's been a noticeable surge in sales of comfort clothes, says Chief Product and Marketing Officer Beth Zerdecki.
Surprisingly, the biggest trend has actually been in bottoms, which you wouldn't think with so many people being focused on Zoom meetings. But I think people are needing something that's comfortable enough to work from home in, but also something that feels a little bit elevated.
Specifically, joggers, leggings, and denim shorts.
That's been a very surprising one. Major increase, over 200% over last year.
The Natori Company is a high-end women's fashion brand, mostly known for luxury sleepwear and undergarments. Their online sales have been robust, says its president, Ken Natori.
But we've certainly seen with COVID, a lot more of an appreciation for, loungewear and sleepwear that makes women feel special. And so, our online business has benefited accordingly.
While some states are slowly reopening after months of lockdown due to the pandemic, Beth Zerdecki says that shift has not yet been reflected in consumer behavior.
They're not looking for that super trendy top or cocktail dress. So we're still seeing these trends continue into the summer.
Until that time, working women can continue to wear clothes that give them comfort and enhance their look with simple accessories. Julie Tabo, VOA News.
The question is, what is all the buzz around British Vogue's December issue? It is Queen Bee who has landed on the cover looking fierce and talking family, passion, music, and 2020. In an interview with Vogue editor Edward Eninfo, Beyoncé discusses how her visual album Black is King came together. She says that it took an incredible group of creators from around the world, and so many of us were of African descent, telling a part of our own family story and its hidden history. The artist and businesswoman discusses what this year's events have taught her. She says, I have learned that my voice is clearer when I'm still. I truly cherish this time with my family, and my new goal is to slow down and shed stressful things from my life. And to make the cover even more special, Beyoncé was photographed by 21-year-old Kennedy Carter, the youngest to shoot any cover for British Vogue in its 104-year history. Queen Bee had specifically requested a woman of color for the shoot, and together with Eninfo, selected Kennedy. Now, Black films and TV series are receiving critical acclaim and have become box office sensations. VOA's Penlopulu spoke with film critics who say that this new Black renaissance shows audiences growing appetite for thought-provoking entertaining, and diverse stories.
Ryan Coogler's 2018 superhero film Black Panther, about a powerful African kingdom and its king, was one of the highest-grossing films of all time, raking in $1.3 billion internationally. The mega blockbuster, with a predominantly black cast, has prompted Hollywood to flood money on more black productions and TV series than ever before.
That woke everybody up and said, wow, there's money here. And suddenly, all of the black filmmakers who had ideas and passion and vision, suddenly now they had money, so they could actually make the movies that they wanted to make.
I waited my entire life for this.
Over the course of probably the last 10 years, we've seen a renaissance in black storytelling like we haven't seen probably in the first, 90 years of storytelling in our community.
Critically acclaimed black films such as Barry Jenkins's Oscar-winning drama Moonlight or Ava DuVernay's documentary 13th have illuminated black life and offered cultural affirmation to black audiences, says Berardinelli.
A group of people who for so long did not see themselves reflected on screen now suddenly see themselves reflected on screen. And in the superhero movies, now you have Black Panther, of course, but you also now have the new Captain America is black, Anthony Mackie.
Berardinelli says as they enter the American mainstream, black films are attracting a wider demographic.
Because the multiculturalism of the younger generation is much more varied than it is for the older generation.
You who were formed by the heat of the galaxy. What a thing to be, both unique and familiar.
Black women directors are also gaining support. Gordon says this year, 15 films are directed by black women alone. One of them is BEYONCÉ, who wrote, directed, and produced the visual album Black is King.
Lead.
The fusion of kind of like a Lion King theme mixed in with a Black Panther theme, I thought hits you squarely in the pride aspect.
As for criticisms leveled against Beyoncé that she misappropriated elements of African culture into her African-American production,
it's hard to criticize a black person who is paying homage to her ancestors who are African in nature. So it wasn't even like she brought a bunch of Americans in to pretend to be from Mali or to pretend to be from Ghana or to pretend to be from South Africa. She used South Africans, she used folks from Mali, she used folks from Ghana, she used folks from the continent.
Gordon hopes to see more black films and black lead characters across all genres for all audiences.
True equality is when you are able to tell all these different stories and they are no longer looked at as niche films. They're just a part of the fabric of what makes America great.
Penelope Pulu, VOA News, Washington.
The film industry has lost an iconic star. Sean Connery, the first actor to play James Bond on film, has died at the age of 90. In a varied career, the Scottish actor was in his early 30s and little known when he starred in the first James Bond film, Dr. No. Connery also had major roles in films including Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Highlander, and The Hunt for Red October. He won his Oscar for supporting actor in 1987 for his portrayal of a tough Chicago cop in The Untouchables. Stars including Hugh Jackman and Sam Neill took to Twitter to pay tribute to Connery. Jackman wrote, "I grew up idolizing at Sean Connery, a legend on screen and off. Rest in peace." Neill said, "Every day on set with Sean Connery was an object lesson in how to act on screen. But all that charisma and power that was utterly unique to Sean. R.I.P. that great man, that great actor." A new exhibition at the recently reopened National Museum of American History shows challenges young women face growing up in the United States. Girlhood, It's Complicated showcases the lives of American girls who advocated for social change and shaped the country's history. Karina Bafardazian has our story.
The new exhibit opening at the National Museum of American History, called Girlhood, It's Complicated, highlights the sometimes difficult journey of women growing up in the United States.
We also want people to understand that girlhood's complicated, right? That girls take big risks to use their voices, to walk on the front lines of change, and to be political advocates.
The exhibition is divided into 5 sections: health, education, work, politics, and fashion. Each of them walks the visitors through the history of girls growing up and maturing during different times in American history, from the American Revolution to our days.
Girls are taught so much about where they fit in, what they should wear, how they should look, who is a girl, who is not, who is our ideal girl. And girls automatically become more conscious of themselves, and they try to express themselves through this barrage and tornado of advice coming at them, and that makes you political.
Girls with very different lives have become the center and focus of the exhibit, including Helen Keller, a well-known political activist and author who lived in the first half of the 20th century. She was rendered deaf and blind by a childhood illness, but still pursued a higher education and spent her life fighting racism and gender discrimination. 13-year-old Naomi Wadler has a different story. The American student and activist gained the public's attention in 2018 when she made a passionate speech in Washington, D.C. against gun violence in America. The curators also spoke with many young girls across the nation to create the exhibit. The October 11 opening coincides with the United Nations International Day of the Girl Child, which aims to highlight the many challenges girls around the world face every day. The exhibit will stay open until 2022, giving girls and women more time to experience the exhibit firsthand. Karina Befredjian for VOA News, Washington.
Outspoken social activist and model Chrissy Teigen is opening up about the partial placental abruption that claimed the life of her unborn son in September. In an essay on Medium, the 34-year-old said that she and husband John Legend decided to share their story and photos, which has been met with some support and some criticism. "I can't express how little I care that you hate the photos," she wrote. "How little I care that it's something that you wouldn't have done. I lived it. I chose to do it, and more than anything, these photos aren't for anyone but the people who have lived this or are curious enough to wonder what something like this is like. These photos are only for the people who need them. The thoughts of others do not matter to me." Teigen urged people to share their stories and please be kind to those pouring their hearts out. And we'll end our show this week with some news in the tech world. Short video sharing app TikTok has signed a deal with Sony Music Entertainment that will give all its users access to Sony's portfolio of music, including global artists such as BEYONCÉ, Martin Garrix, and Harry Styles.
TikTok, TikTok, don't stop.
The deal will allow Sony Music to use TikTok's platform, home to several viral internet trends, and where emerging artists have garnered fans quickly, to promote its artists. The partnership came a day after the U.S. Commerce Department said it would vigorously defend an executive order that seeks to bar transactions with Chinese-owned TikTok after a federal judge halted the action. TikTok signed similar deals with UK-based nonprofit Merlin earlier this year in a bid to expand its music library, and a multi-year partnership with Paris-based Believe, a music platform for independent artists, in July.
And with that, we come to the end of our show today. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voanews.com. We are also on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, where you can watch our videos. Remember to subscribe and share with your friends. Until next time, goodbye everyone.